the party. With marriage culturally, we've created so much stuff around it. Like when you marry someone, they're supposed to be, at least in the modern Western model, your best friend, best roommate, best co-parent, best travel partner, best roommate, best everything, best activity partner. Like how would one person be all of those things? That's insane. Like if I was interviewing for a job and said, I want you to be the best typist, and I also want you to be best on the phone, and I also want you to be great at that. And I ran down a list of dissimilar things. Like, or if I went to an amazing chef and I said, I know you're a great chef, but can you farm? Like, well, that has to do with food, but they're not the same thing. Like, what are you talking? So I think, why do we put on people this idea, like whoever came up with the word soulmate, really we should be paying, like divorce lawyers should be paying that person dividends. Because we've convinced people that if this person isn't meeting every one of your needs, checking all of these boxes, they're not your soulmate. You're.
So 2 questions. One, the first time you ever fell in love, what was that feeling like? And 2, do you believe in the term soulmate?
First time fell in love, I don't know.
That's sad. That's sad.
Soulmate. I believe that there is a soulmate. I don't know exactly what it looks like.
What does your soulmate look like?
I don't know. But I believe that there is because there's nothing that like I just don't like I know soulmate exists. I just don't.
No, not even that, because some people don't believe in soulmates. That's not either. But
Oh,
the first
I
time, you know,
believe in. I feel like it when you look at the entity of life and you look at especially when you look at how our bodies created and story of Adam and Eve and stuff like that. So like there's a person for a person,
yeah.
but it's just like I don't know what happens to you. Like, is there something in your body that like you can read books and you can see things, but like, is there something like how do your body reacts when it you know finds its soulmate? Like, or it's like what I mean? It's just
So you really don't remember the first time you ever fell in love, like that feeling, like when you fell in love?
mm-mm.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, B. That's kind of sad.
What you mean?
Huh?
What you mean?
Because you was married. Is it like,
Yeah.
and like you don't remember like the time where it's just like you felt like, even with him, it was just like there was a time where you fell in love with him. Like, I love this man. It's just like,
I don't think I have like I don't think like my body has that trigger point because even when I think about like my child and everything, there's things like is there certain things like I don't know. I just don't. It's not something in me. Like to me, like it just I can love you and everything, but it's like oh I like at that moment you knew you fell in love. Like I'd be like, bruh, I know y'all lying. Like you can care for somebody with high abundance. I believe.
but you never say you fell in love. Not even, damn.
No, like you can tell. Oh, I love you, or
Yeah, it's because you can say I love you to a person. I understand, you have love, but you was never in love with a person. That's where
I
like,
don't think the person you in love with is yourself.
well, duh, but it's like, but you've never been in love with another person. That's what I'm saying, and you said no, and I'm like,
No, it's because that's not. These are like I don't, it's just not it's something's just that's just not in me. Like I can love somebody, you can be hurt when if something happens to somebody. But to be in love, I don't know. I guess because in my mind it's like eventually everyone will leave.
that's sad. I'm,
No.
it's because it's just like, well, for one, it's I don't. It reminds me of the Chief and the Essex. It is just like What is the opposite of like a silver lining in a cloud or some shit like that? It's just like even or like my first class. Okay, my first class petty officer when I was in the pipe shop. On a good day, he will find a way to just fuck it up. It is just like if we was just even we was having a good time, we was doing everything we supposed to do. He will find a way to just like ruin your day. That was like one of my LPOs, and like he just bring down the morale because I feel like even like let's just like you gotta. I feel like you get if you get the person that marry you, it's just like I don't think he ever wants to leave you. Like even as like I feel like the person you're gonna marry is just like super stubborn. And it's just like I'm not gonna leave this woman. I'm just gonna ride or die with her. We gonna ride out. The fact that like there was never a moment where you just looked at your person and just like I'm in love with you. It's just like I feel like you miss. It's just personally I think you're missing out on life, even though you done lived and you traveled.
I know for a fact it's really not in. And I used to say that like even when I was really like a child, I used to think it was just something that just was not there. And it might be because I didn't have like I wasn't raised like with a dad, so like a male figure or whatever the case may be. So I think it might be also that point and stuff like that. So it's just like I used to think like I just don't have love for like men for some odd reason. Like it's just not in me. Like that is just I don't know if it's my also my thought process is eventually we're all gonna go because that unconditional love thing and all those things that people claim like I love my family, I love my son, I love but it's just not something where like I'm deep embedded. I love me first.
As you should.
So I'm in love with me. That's it. That's it. Like
Damn. It's maybe it's just okay. Now maybe it's because I did live in a two-parent household, and yeah, even though they divorced, but I still have my grandparents that like to this day
mhm.
still are together. They're still together, and they still dance with each other. They
but
still, but
but that's something I knew about myself though. From like I knew that was just something that's just me. Like it's not even like I knew that from when I was young that it was just something in me that was just like that.
I want to hug you so bad.
Why? I don't have
Okay,
that
okay.
clinging I don't have that clinging personality. Like it's just not me. Like it just don't even like, I just don't even think it's real like it's like normal personalities. Like
Well,
when
to
people
like
like
to be in love with another person.
no to be there's not to because anybody you can be in love you're in love with everything. You can be in love with anything, everybody, your family, your friends, your the person you're with.
No,
But
there's a difference between love and in love.
mhm.
Like this definitely like love is just like you could show appreciation for someone that does something nice for you. It's just like and like I got
So,
love for that
have you
person
ever
because
been in love with somebody?
have I ever been in love with somebody?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, and what's that feeling like?
I this is just like for me, it was just like I wanted to spend the rest of my life and not even like a clingy person, it's just like I want to spend the rest of my life with it. I want to make sure everything that I do, not only that I do for myself, that I do for her, and anything and the family that we may create. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I
okay, quick story because I already told you about my ex. That
Mhm.
we already had to talk about my ex before we even got on the show.
Yeah.
Before the last time I saw her was like 10 years ago, right? So
Mhm.
and I was just starting school, but I only had classes on the weekends. So I told her that I was going to go see her and in her hometown, and she lived in Martinsville. She was also out the Navy. She was in Martinsville, so I took a Greyhound to go see her. And like there was one, and like when we was down there, like we anytime she went to work or then when she came back to me, and then we either go somewhere or we do something, and like that whole week it was just really relaxing, and it was the first time when I was with her that I never had to worry about fraternization, us getting in trouble with someone seeing us and maybe like telling about our relationship or some shit like that. So it was like the first time we were just out and just enjoying our company. And not saying like we didn't before, but like I didn't have to, like I said, I didn't have to look over my shoulder. It was just like that time I was like, this is what I kind of like want for like the rest of it. Because it was just, it was something about that time. It was just like we enjoyed the company. Now, the day when I had to leave, because I had to go back, I had to go back in class. I had to go back to class, so I had to go back to the Greyhound and go back up to Maryland. Like the last thing I remember is like we was snugged up in the car till like the bus. I was ready to jump on the bus, and I could feel her crying on my chest because she didn't want me to go. And like, and obviously we done spent 3 years on and off and on it, but it was just like I was with her for her Thanksgiving, and like we done chilled, and it was just a very special moment. So it's just like during that time, I was just like, this is what I, oh my God, this is what I always wanted from this relationship. And I got that in that week, and I just salvaged in it to the point to it's just like, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even want to get on that bus. I was just like, I stay for one more day, but I was just like, I have to go back, to school shit. But yeah, and then but even before then, it was just like when I was with her, I just wanted to make sure like she was safe, secure, all that safety shit is just like I wanted to do things for her to make her smile. It was like if I could be that one to make her smile, if I want to be the one that could do anything for her, it's like she could. I'm the first person that she looks to look after. I was going to be that person for her, and
Mhm.
that's what I felt like being with that woman.
Yeah. You there was love there. There was definitely love in the atmosphere. It was a nice peaceful, tranquility, enjoyment. But to me, I feel like when you're like in love, to me is like there's you cannot function without that person when you in love. Like you literally like you're so connected. Like you feel their emotions. Like you're deep in it. So I feel like I think a lot of people want to pretend and believe like we're talking about a lot of like our grandparents. They are in love with each other.
Right.
I mean that right there. That's for me. That I would consider like in love. Like when I say like till this day still like love each other with their full heart. And some of them, there will, if one passed, the other one passing shortly after.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, we take like, these great moments, these tranquility moments and everything else. I don't think you really can be in love with somebody in short spurts of time. Like you have, like to be in love with somebody, it's going to take there's going to be a long period of time where like you come to the point where, man, this person is my life. Like I don't even want to see a day without this person. Like when they wake up, you want to be up with them. And you can't build that off of a couple of years. these people, they're some of these people are in 50 years, 60 years. They went through trials and tribulations. We talking about people 5 years and y'all not even y'all don't even talk no more. So how was you in love? It was a nice, there was a loving moment. It felt great. It felt like, man, I could see this for the rest of my life. But you can't leave somebody if you're that deep in love with each other.
All right. Well, see, that was her soliloquy. Yeah, and let's, let's get back into the video. Let, but let us know what y'all think. Is like what do y'all think for those that see this video? But let's get back into the video.
Your soulmate would know exactly what to do, exactly what to say at exactly the right time.
Hmm.
I can go off on this stuff.
Yeah.
I tend to.
What do you think the secret is to keeping a marriage vital, keeping it alive?
I think people get unhappy in marriages the way that people go bankrupt, which is very slowly and then all at once. I think it's very slow and then it just goes off a cliff. So everybody will say, well, we divorced because he was cheating or she was cheating, or we divorced because he had an alcohol issue or drug issue, which lately we're seeing more like alcohol and drugs is a big thing, especially post-pandemic. There's a tremendous amount of substance abuse stuff that's causing a lot of issues in marriages. And certainly like social media has increased the accessibility of adultery and connections to other people and reconnections with people from your past who remind you of a version of yourself that you felt more excited about because you were younger. So it's, it used to be if you like ran into the girl you banged in high school, it was like once every 10 years at a reunion, or if you lived in the same town as you grew up in, you might run into the person at the Walmart. But now it's like on Facebook, you have all these excuses to be able to chit chat with someone and all these benign entry points, of like, oh, I saw your pictures from vacation. Where did you stay in Miami? And then it becomes, oh yeah, well, you looked great. I mean, boy, you look fantastic in a bikini. And then all of a sudden we're off to the races and we're chatting with each other. So I if we were going to invent like an infidelity machine, you couldn't do better than Facebook and Instagram. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. But I genuinely think that the secret to staying happy in a marriage is probably the same secret to maintaining a healthy weight. Don't wait till you get super fat and then try to lose the weight. Don't wait until you get really sick. Like my sister's a dentist. And she always says, if you have a toothache, there's nothing I can do really. Like I can pull the tooth, I can give you a root canal, but like I can prevent you from getting a toothache. If you just come see me regularly and you just floss and you just brush your teeth, you'll never get a toothache. By the time your tooth hurts, something is already seriously wrong. By the time you're in a divorce lawyer's office, you're fucked. The whole thing's fucked at that point. Like you'd be better off just, figuring out the preventative maintenance, right? Like change the oil in your car. Like, so if you reverse engineer divorce, like most people, the marriage killer, the cheating or the gambling or the whatever, that's the symptom. Like the problem is these little disconnections, One of the best stories I had.
Before we get to the story, did you initiate the divorce or did he?
I did.
So was there anything that that was leading up to you being like, okay, I'm done, I want a divorce? Was there anything like do you feel like he knew before then that he was fucking up, or
Yeah, because I'm very honest. That's the one thing I
yep,
I try to be, is really honest and let you know, like, and I can be forgiving at a fault. But then there was like, it had hit a point where it was just like, I it's like I can't continue on no more.
and
Like the separation became longer. The separation started to like stretch out and stretch out and stretch out. And it was like at one point you have to be like, okay, I'm done. Like in sometimes you have to give them that, you have to divorce so they can get their act together. Because sometimes people won't take you serious even at the step of separation.
I agree with that. I got a homegirl right now that her boyfriend doesn't do bare minimum, and yet
Mhm.
she complains all the fucking time, and I'm like, do you ever bring this up to him? And she gives me the yeah, but I don't think she do,
Uh-uh.
because it's just like,
Oh, I don't live in secrecy. Because it does absolutely nothing to pretend like to be silent. Like when you're the only person miserable, like the only person with the secret for what? It's easy to when you're in a relationship, like or like young in high school, elementary school, middle school, you get into these relationships, break up, make up, break up, make up, break up, break up, break up, break up, break up. Get in a relationship, and then a few hours later you might break up with the person because you're like, I don't even know why I'm like talking to you. You're not it or whatever, whatever. Just the things you do when you're young. So
you're breaking up.
oh, I say the things you do when you're young. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, I can just let them go until there's a massive difference between just being in a relationship with somebody, as in the state of boyfriend girlfriend, where you can dump them with no problem, never talk to them, block them, cancel them out, versus when you go and get married, you start to look at things different. The breakup isn't the same. The way your mind operates isn't the same. Because, well, I can't say that for everybody because everybody's different. But like for me, it's a mind thing now. It's not like boyfriend girlfriend. Boy, don't even think about it. Let you go, move on, cancel you out. It's nothing to me. But now when you're married, your mind is like now you're battling. You're not just battling the regular divorce with somebody you don't know. You also start to fight your mind because now you start to question you as a person, because marriage is not just a regular, it's not just a piece of paper, it's a job. And you didn't finish your mission, or you didn't finish the job that you signed up for. So now you failed at something.
Okay, Father doesn't enter the chat. What's going on, Father?
Peace and blessings. What's up?
Hey.
You're all right? You all right, Father?
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
Okay. Have you been following so far with what?
Yeah, I've just been listening. I just got in here because the conversations be lit.
So we were just talking about
Let me
But
bring
what the
the video
dude was saying in the video, he was spitting though. Preventative measures is how you take care of something like a marriage, because because like you're committed to somebody, or you're
mhm.
committed to building something with this particular person. That takes motherfucking commitment. So if you're not addressing the problems as they arise and addressing them in a way that leads to solutions, it
That's the
festers.
question. Mhm.
Yeah, I was
So
about to say that was the question right there. Is like I asked her did you let him know that he was fucking, basically did you let him know that he was fucking up before you totally got to the point where you was like, I'm done? And she answered that, yeah.
yeah,
But I also agree that it does take preventative measures. But with the story I was telling, it's like sometimes you need to let him go, because if you keep this going on and he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong, or he feels like there's nothing wrong with the relationship, he's not going to change. He's going to keep doing the same thing. And I've told her this many a times. You're going to be the one to break this relationship up, not him. He's going to be good. He's going to be thinking you're good. You, on the other hand,
No, they know. Like, I don't think he's thinking he just knows they're not going nowhere. There's a difference between thinking you good and knowing somebody's not going nowhere.
I don't know, because I've asked her, "Are you afraid to be alone?" And like she was like, "You're not the only person that asked me that." It was like, because there's no reason for you to stay in a relationship where you're not benefiting. So unless you are like afraid to be alone, but when you always talk about it, you think like he's going to break up
Well,
with
is
you.
there kids involved?
No,
So no
no,
kids, no
no
kids
kid.
involved. How long have they been together? Was their virginity lost with this
Two
person?
2 years. No, no virginity is lost. But he did make her wait. He made her wait. Uh,
So,
the relationship is really fucking weird.
so it was different compared to what she normally got. That one was different. So it enticed her. So now she feels like instead of him being the chase, she find herself, being the chase.
How would you feel if your man goes to the club every weekend and leaves you home? It just leaves you at home. It's just
Or I went from all the time because like that was so the thing is you gotta remember is at one point that was me.
that your man would go to the club and leave you at home.
No, I would go to the club and he would stay home because it was so when he like I applauded like go out have fun. I cheat. The thing is, I really have like even though I say I live in a state of delusion, there's not a thought process in me thinking that somebody's gonna go cheat. I don't sit there and fester in like this thought process that a person's gonna go out and cheat on you. Like that's not like I when I say live in a state of delusion, I do sometimes be living in a state of delusion because you don't think it, so you're not expecting it. So you want these people to go out. I'm used to like you know going out, not clinging to somebody, creating your own identity, you know, having fun respectfully.
I believe that like you see patterns. Like the patterns literally tell you all the information that you need to know about a situation because they reveal intent or they reveal results, I would rather say. And what resulted from like their involvement in whatever situation that they're in is the reason why you feel the way that you do. So just like at the very end of the day, when you come to a decision and you are intent about making that decision, like something like divorce, for example, like at that point, just learn from the experience and use that to benefit yourself in whatever way that you will, whether it be with another partner or maybe in your business or whatever. Like let that experience with somebody at least benefit you in some way. So I think divorce is way too stigmatized. I think sometimes like there are times where a decision had to be made and it resulted in the benefit of both parties. Even if somebody, so to say, crashes out because of a divorce, that means that they didn't put in the adequate time to make sure that their foundation was solid. So if you stayed in that marriage, that foundation was going to crash anyway. And the divorce was proof of that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's just like reality is going to tell you. And that's all I can say. Like, if it
Ain't that
happens,
true?
then right.
What about you, Ray?